let's go fishing. You know it's really great, let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes, let's go fishing. It's easy when you try, floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike.
All right, folks, we're here.
We don't know nothing, but we're here.
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly right, Mike. We definitely don't know anything, or we'd be fishing.
That's right.
Yeah. Moon's full. Temperature's not too bad. Yeah. So we definitely don't know anything. That's for dang sure.
Got a pretty red sky tonight and everything.
Yeah, it's shoot. The black lights is ready. Everything's ready but me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's right.
I don't know what to say. You know, here we have all the boys at work. We had that snow there Saturday, and none of them made it to the lake.
Yeah.
So they didn't have any pictures to give me, and I definitely didn't make it to the lake. You did make it to the lake a little while Sunday, crappie fishing. So, yeah, we definitely don't know anything. That's for dang sure.
Nope.
I was going to call, when we put your film on, I'm going to call Max Meredith. He's out there at Dale Holler. He caught one fish today, according to Bill, and it was a 5-pluser. Caught it 30 foot deep, so I'm going to question him a little bit, see if he'll let us know what he caught it on. You know, how much dynamite he's using.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. But anyway, folks, it's good to have y'all with us tonight. And we're just going to ramble on here like we have been for the last 3 months, except when we've had Jeff Parrott over here to help us through the hard times, and with him catching some fish, and then some pictures of them boys catching some fish up our week 4 last, and on a spinner bait, and that's, you know, and then there the week before that, when we had the hard rains, had all the floods, they caught them on a little old crankbait. So we've done showed all them pictures. But they're a good bunch of guys over there. They's a lot of them fishing, and when the weather's decent, and, you know, and boat ramps are not froze over, that kind of thing. This past weekend was, you know, that snow came in on Saturday night, or Friday night, wasn't it? Yeah, and the yard was totally white and the roads was clear.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, want to say hello to Bill. I know Bill's watching. Paul Harrison, Jeff Parrott, Ray Bryant, and old Charlie Irwin. I know they're all watching.
That's right.
So we appreciate everybody that's watching the show. I mean, like I said, it's hard to make a fishing show when you don't have any fish.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to have to go to YouTube and put the camera up there in front of the screen and film some of that.
Yeah.
Mike?
You know, I can say pretty good before that big rain hit, and then all of a sudden everything went south, and it ain't cleared up yet.
Well, that's true. You know, I can't believe that they've got to be. I know Norris is running water. Or at least they have been, and you know, you'd think that them pushing that much water through Milton Hill and then coming out of Loudon over there down to Tennessee, that they'd have to be running it to kind of get it to clear up.
It ain't cleared up yet.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rain hit the ground there, Mike, a few weeks back.
What was that?
I mean,
that water comes all the way from Virginia, North Carolina, and everywhere else coming down through here. And,
right.
You just, I don't know whether they're moving it, just keeping it stirred up, or whether it needs to set for a little bit to clear up. You know. Definitely ain't cleared up down there, that's for sure.
No. You know, in a few years back, went up there in April, and throwing a jerk bait around and catch a few walleye. You know, so that may be the water was up and around the bushes, and you know the lake was full, and so I don't know. May have to try that a night or two. So see if we can come up with some of them walleye, you know, and they do get in there in that shallow water.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it.
When times get right, so that may have to be one of our first night fishing trips.
I hear that. That'd be good.
Yeah, so you're looking at the middle of April. This moon here, you know, it'll be gone. Then the next night will be around the middle of April. Might be a good time to try them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a fact we're not going to catch no crappie or no bass. Don't look like.
Yeah.
So we may have to try them jerk baits on them walleye. Wesley and I went up there several years back, and it was in April. And Buddy, them dang rockfish tore up 3 of my dang jerk baits, and them son of a guns. I couldn't. We did catch a couple of walleye that night, but them dang rockfish just. I had Wesley. I had one had the hooks jerked in my finger, and I was trying. He was laying back there taking a nap, and I said, "You're gonna have to get up here and hold that fish down to where I can get that hook out of my finger." And so he done that, and I finally wiggled around there and done a little surgery on my finger there with a good sharp pair of scissors, and got that down to the barb and got that hook out and put some black tape around my finger and just kept right on fishing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that kind of stuff will happen. But them dang old rockfish, you got to be careful with them son of a guns. They'll when you lay them down the bottom of the boat and they go to flopping around, you've got 3 treble hooks there slashing at you. You get one stuck in your finger every now and then. And,
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But we fished some places all the way from out of Point 19 there, plumb down into what is that boat dock? Rainbow.
Rainbow, yeah.
Yeah, we fished all the way, just hit here and there, trying to figure them fish out, and wound up down there in front of Rainbow, and about 2 o'clock in the morning while we headed back towards the boat ramp.
Yeah.
But we caught several rockfish, but we only had 2 walleye, and well, they were 2 nice ones, but we dang rockfish just wouldn't leave us alone. You wrestle with them son of a guns, trying to get them out of the net and get your bait out of the net and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of keeps you busy.
Every time I see old Ernie, there one of the operators that's in the local with us is retired. He asked me if I've caught any more catfish.
Yeah.
That day I was down there at the skimmer dock and tied that big square bill crankbait on and caught that big catfish. He'd go, I don't know, 25, 30 pounds, I guess, and got it up there beside the boat. And I said, well, I ain't going to try to throw it up in the boat. And so I reached down and grabbed that plug right there next to the bill to pick him up. And he flopped, and when he flopped, he threw the hook in me. And picked him on up and laid him down on the carpet there in front of the console, and reached down to try to get a hold of the needle nose pliers. And he flopped over again. And when he flopped over then, he got the hook hung into the dang carpet. And there one set of hooks was in me, and then part of it in him, and then the other part in the carpet. And I couldn't move to get back to the big motor. I couldn't move to get to the trolling motor. I couldn't move to get to the needle nose. I just hung right there, you know. And I sat there for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden I seen this boat coming up through there, and I jerked my hat off and went to waving and hollering. He come up there to me, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I need some help bad." Yeah, he had to get out there and get the pliers and stuff and help hold it down and get that hook out of the carpet so I could get it out from the fish and then get it out of my finger. And every time he sees me, he says, "You caught any more catfish?" No. I mean,
Yeah.
I was stuck. There wasn't nothing I could do.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What was that I was throwing? When you was over there working at Kingston, Wesley and I were down there at the steam plant.
Yeah.
And he caught a little old fish about 10 inches long on that point there going into the steam plant, and it was a flopping and jumping around, dadgum, you know. And I said, let me get it. Well, I reached back there to grab that son of a gun. He threw them hooks at me, and I said, damn it, dadgum. So I finally got the fish off and called Mike. I said, I know you're still at work, but when you get done, come down here at the steam plant so that I can go to the doctor and get this hook cut out of my finger. And he said, all right. I said, it'll be a little while. I said, yeah, I know. And so we stayed there, and I kept trying to get it out myself, and I couldn't get it. And son of a gun. So here come Mike. And him and Wesley, I left them with my truck keys, and I took Mike's work truck and drove to Oliver Springs and went to the Dr. Bingham there and sat in the waiting room for about 10 minutes, and finally they called me back there, and I still had that plug in my hand. Or no, I'd cut the dang hook off of the plug, and just all I had was the trebles in my finger. And he had been on vacation a couple of weeks before that, and when he looked at it, he said, my son had the same thing happen to him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said, sit back there and let me see if I can numb it up a little bit. and he stuck the needle in a couple of times there, and then he got that thing backed out of there. And but that'll happen. And I was fishing a tournament up on Cherokee, a BFL tournament. And just about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I went up the river there from the bridge. We blasted off there. I think that's what that launch ramp over in the holler there, right above the bridge. Can't remember what it is now. But anyway, we blasted off from there. This was on the second day. We fished Saturday and fished Sunday. And I got up there in the river, and there was a tree out there about 30 yards off the bank. You could tell there was a shallow shoal come up there. And them fish the minnows was pulling a little current, and then when them minnows would come by that treetop, well, heck, they just light the water up. And I caught one about 3 pounds out there on about the second cast, and throwed it back out there, buddy, and had that Zara spook, and I jerked that thing, and it caught me. It come right back, caught my leg. There I was. I said, gosh, dang almighty. And that guy said, my partner, he said, buddy, you need to go in, don't you? I said, go in. I said, no. I said, shoot, we've still got 3 more hours to fish. And so anyway, I got the side cutters out, cut that dang hook off, and had my britches down where I could cut that hook off close, you know. And I got it cut off, and I throwed the plug down the bottom of the boat, and pulled my britches up, put my belt back on and everything, and that little bar, or that that hook was still sticking out far enough out of my leg that every time I moved, it'd hang on them britches. Mm-hmm. And he said, I said, I'm gonna have to do something different. He said, well, you need to go to the doctor, don't you? I said, no, we'll go later. So I pulled my britches back down, got the black tape out of the glove box, and I made about 3 passes of that electrical tape around my leg there, right over top of that dang hook, and pulled my britches back up, snapped everything up, grabbed up another rod, and went back to fishing. He said, gosh, he said, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I said, well, I hadn't either. But I said, that's not hurting me a bit. I said, now, I said, I'm in good shape. And so anyway, by the time I got over to Walmart at the weigh-in, got my check, and got home, I got down to Harriman Hospital. Christy, my daughter, was working there at the time, and I dropped the boat off and ran on down there to Harriman Hospital and got there about 10 o'clock, and he took me back there and gave me a couple of numbing shots, and that doctor pulled that hook out, and He said, golly, bum. He said, I didn't think that hook was that big. I said, yeah. I said, it was. I said, I didn't think it was either. You started pulling on, trying to get it out there, you know. And so, yeah, you know, you're going to get a hook in you if you fool with them dang plugs and treble hooks and stuff like that. A single hook jig or something's not near as bad, but when you got them treble hooks there slashing around, you subject to get one in your finger or in your leg or whatever.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so it does happen, and without a doubt. So, anyway, folks, do be careful with that. And have you something around to cut them hooks off in case you get one in you somewhere. And that way you don't have to wire that fishing lure all the way to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy Mike. You know, back to hello to Bill and Paul Harrison, old Jeff Parrott, Ray Bryant, Charlie Irwin, you guys. I know all of you are watching. We appreciate you. Hopefully things will be calm enough. Mike said, what did you say about the weather? They changed it to when?
Friday night. And we're going to move in late Friday evening.
Friday or Saturday evening?
No, Friday.
Friday?
Supposed to clear off Saturday by Saturday morning sometime.
Well, maybe we can get a chance to get on the water somewhere there Saturday.
You already seen the hail balls down there in Birmingham and the tornadoes and everything else going through down there.
Well,
it's showing on the Weather Channel there.
Like I said, you're on a piece of equipment over there with a radio in it.
And it's on TV they're showing it.
Oh, it's on TV?
Yeah, big old hail balls are hitting and the streets are flooding
This
out
afternoon?
and everything. Yeah.
Shoot far.
Yeah, sure was.
And you thought winter was over.
Yeah. Them tornadoes and stuff coming through down there.
I hadn't heard a bit of that. I've been too dadgum busy, I guess. The only radio communications I have during the day is over that dang radio that we carry at work. Goodness gracious. And the 100 phone calls that I get.
Yeah, I know that.
So you have to keep up with the weather, Mike. I don't have a chance.
I just got to get in this evening there and turned it on there to see what it was going to do tomorrow. When the rain was coming in, and it's out late tomorrow evening. That rain, man, I tell you.
Well, that was Jeff Parrott. Sent us a message there. He said, hello, Steve and Mike. Nothing to report except last night we cleaned out the freezer of all the Dale Hollow and Dale Hollow crappie and North Lake crappie that he had freezer. So I guess he'll be on the hunt now. He'll have to fill up the freezer. Good luck on that, Jeff. Get back after him. I hate to see that last bag of crappie get gone.
Yeah.
Shoot. Mike's let us down here. He usually keeps me stocked up pretty good, but he ain't had much luck so far this winter like he normally does. Okay, Chandler, take us to a sponsor break, will you, brother? All right. Hey, folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some four-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes, light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TVA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank those two sponsors there, IOUE, man. We appreciate you guys tremendously, and a great bunch of guys to work with and communicate with, and we thank all of you guys for sure. All righty. Well, I'm going to go one more little thing before we get to your film, Mike. I talked to Trampus down at Reynolds Racing and Marine there today. Glenn's kind of under the weather right now, and I got a little bit of stuff from Trampus here. Let me find my page here. Getting close. Let's see. Shucks, man, I didn't know I had that much wrote down. We're getting real close. Okay, they've got a Pro XS 250. It's got around 91 hours, give or take an hour or two. It's got some warranty left on it, and 13 something I think you're asking for the motor.
Good deal.
That's a awful good deal. And they've got a couple of 150s in the 4-stroke and a 115 in the 4-stroke. They've got a couple of some boats ordered, but it's going to be a while before they get them.
Yeah.
And I meant to ask him about that 19-foot Express, if he still had that back there, and I forgot to do that. But if get online, look at their website, and then if they've got it, it'll be on there.
Yeah.
And a couple of trade-ins. But the boat thing is a couple of 3 months away. Sound like. It's just like everything else. It's hard to get things.
It sure is.
Hard to get things, and these Mercury, they're taking care of their pro fishermen. That's first on their list, and if you watch any of that the tournament that's going on, there's a lot of them, and all these guys have got majority of them's Mercury engines, so about all everything they making's going going into that.
Yeah.
So hard for these dealers to get engines, you know, and boats and everything else too.
You know, it's pretty dang hard when one of them told me that they called up our Pro Bass to try to get a motor, and said they kind of just almost laughed at him. Said they was having a hard time even getting motors to put on their boats.
Yeah.
Let alone just sell a motor out, you know.
It's just that way, Mike, you know. But yeah, Reynolds has got a 2017. It's a 2017 or a 2018. Trampus wasn't for sure, and it's got 91 hours on it, and it's got some, you know, still got some warranty.
Well, when I went down and got your batteries there that Saturday, I talked to Glenn there a few minutes, and I was asking Trampus there, because Glenn was on the phone, about setting the throttle on that motor of mine. It ain't never been set. You have to put it on the computer, I reckon, to get wide open throttle or whatever. Of course, ain't never used it. But anyway, I asked Glenn, I said, what kind of deal you got on the warranty, extended warranty for that motor? And he said, you want to go with 5 years or 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know. We'll check it out on 5 years first. And he said, what's the serial number on it? I said, I ain't got that with me. I said, I'll get back with you and let you know what the serial numbers is on the motor. See if I can buy that extended warranty on it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good looking. I mean, I like your motor. It's a good looking motor. I mean, and I know you ain't running it hard. I probably run it that time or that night up there back in the summer when I run you down the lake. Harder than you run it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if it get up on the plane.
Oh, it comes up. I noticed down there, it just jumped right up 2,000 RPM, just done sitting on top, and ain't even win a boat length.
Yeah.
Sitting there just barely on top, easing around. Them crappie don't run that fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that. All righty. Let's go to our film. What do you think?
Well, yeah.
Chandler, how about showing Mike's crappie film, bud? All right.
Okay, folks, I got my buddy Jeff with me here today. We put in here at Rockwood. You can see the lake's down a foot or so there. Still got a little color to it. But the biggest thing is 61 degree water. And you can see some minnows up in here and some structure and minnows down there deeper. So 23 foot. We're going to try to catch a few right here. I just caught one little old stripe and throwed him back. But we're going to try this a few minutes. If we don't do no good, we may move on out deeper or may have to start fishing shallower. But we'll see what we can find out. Stick with us and remember the sponsors. And let's go fishing. Yeah, them minnows. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there he is. Well, got one bucket mouth out there anyway, didn't we? Yeah. Paper mouth, what are you going to call him? Got a few eggs in him. That's just the right size, too. We get that in the box. Okay, he come off. Let that go. Big drum.
At least you caught some.
Yeah, at least we got a bite.
It looks like mine's caught some. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, we'll take it.
Yeah. infested with it. Sure.
Okay, we're gonna have to get the logbook out here and have a talk. Explain to Mike what we fishing for. We're not striper fishing. We crappie fishing. Wasting them minnows.
Like, what is it? You go. Oh, I can go. Yeah, I can go. And you're thinking, me ain't. Okay, folks. Yeah, me down here, and we're putting up our stuff. We've caught a few stripers and one crappie. It's been tough. The water 61, 62 degrees in places, then back to 52, 53 in places. And, anyway, it's still pretty dingy. It's starting to clear up here a little bit. We're back here, Blue Springs here, but just can't get a bite on nothing. I don't know. Can't get deep enough for them or something. The only place you can get deep enough is out there in the channel, and it's too muddy. So anyway, we're gonna do up our stuff and see if we can head toward the barn and maybe get a bite of supper. And come back next week, maybe things will be better. So remember the sponsors, and let's go fishing. Okay, folks, I'm back down here. Big Springs, got in the water. It's 11:30. It's starting to warm up a little bit. I'm looking things over here some. Water temperature is 51.6. Don't see no minerals up here on top like I had been seeing. Water color's got a shade of color to it here. It ain't plumb clear, so we'll check it out. Move out of the creek a little bit at a time. Get a few places here. See if we can find out where them crappies at. You know, last time we got a couple out there about 20 foot, so we'll check that out and then maybe move on out toward the channel and see what's going on. We got a little light breeze blowing. I hope it ain't getting any worse. I hope it don't get any worse than what it is right now. We can make it with that. So remember the sponsors, and let's go fishing. See, I got one little old crappie there, about 30 foot deep in this dingy water. I ain't found no clean water yet. I'm looking. Anyway, stick with us. We'll keep back. Maybe we'll find some more crappie here. Oh, it should be good. Get the flowers after you. Folks, I got one here, but I don't think it's anything we want. See what he is. I believe it's a cat. Oh no, big old drum. Yeah, big old drum. My goodness. Well, we'll have to get the flowers after that one. Sure, there's my first keeper. Oh, there you go. Double check him and see if it's sure he'll keep. Oh yeah, he's 11 inches. That's good. Let's put him in the box. See if we can find another. That's what I thought. Daggone catfish got it all slimed up here. My goodness gracious. Okay, folks. I'm gonna head to the barn here, put it on the trailer, see what's going on, see how the ball's done today. Hope they won. I got one crappie that'd keep, one that wouldn't. Caught some catfish, caught some drum. Water just ain't cleared up out there in the channel. Seen a lot of fish at 35, 40 foot going in the mouth of these hollers, but still too dingy. Can't get nothing to hit. So we're gonna do better next weekend. I hope things settle down a little bit. That wind's pretty rough out there. It's white capping about all day out there on the channel. But water temperatures can get back to hollers. Started warming up pretty good. 52 out there and next to the channel. Reading 52.9 right here. So things are getting pretty well evened out. So hopefully we can do better next weekend. Remember the sponsors and let's go fishing.
All right, we're back. Okay, Mike. Before you get to telling us about that, while we were watching the film, I called Max Meredith. He's been out on Dale Hollow, and Max only caught one fish today, and he said the boats was everywhere. And he had one real nice fish. He said 5 pound, probably a little better. But that was the only fish he caught, so he said, I'm coming back home tomorrow. I said, well, all right, maybe it'll get better on the next trip out there. So anyway, Mike, tell us about the crappie.
Well, as you can see, that one trip there, with me and Jeff, and we put in Rockwood there, and water still had some color to it back there in the holler, and on the depth finder I was showing you the minnows up there, from top down to 8, 10 foot or something like that. And we tried a lot of things there, and that was back in the holler, and then when we got on out and the water got even muddier out there on the channel. And I think I caught them one good crappie down there in Bayside, and it was not much different from what it was back in Rockwood. And we went around in the Blue Springs over there and see if we could find a little cleaner water, and we got in there on that channel bank, and the dang stripe just eating us up every time we caught one small crappie, I believe it was, and then just stripe after stripe, and we finally give it up there. And, I don't know, but when I went down to Big Springs there, and wasn't no minnows.
Yeah.
Water had a little bit of color back there in the creek. There's the launch ramp eased out, and then I tried several different depths going out. But I didn't find no minnows up there next to the top at all. And I throwed around on some grubs and used a floater and minnows and dropped down 2 foot, 6 foot, and stuff around some brush and coming off the bank. Never got a strike out of none of that, and went on out there and got on the channel, and it was just wind blowing, made it even rougher, but the water, you could set your minnow down in there and it wouldn't go a foot deep, you couldn't see it. And so that's when I went back up to Eden up in there and tried that creek ours, because it had a pretty good stream of water. It usually feeds out of that place too, and caught that one little old small crappie, and when I come in the holler out there at 35, 40 foot, down there at 30 foot or so, they were just, just unbelievable at the fish that was down there. And couldn't get them to strike nothing, because I guess because of the color of the water. And I kept working my way on back toward the boat dock there, and finally caught that one crappie about 11 inches. And I could see the minnows was down there, and there was some fish in them. But it beats me why they couldn't see that minnow, but they just evidently, so many minnows, they didn't want it, or either they just couldn't see it or something. But it wasn't that good a trip, but it showed that water temperature 51 degrees. And I kind of figured it might have dropped another degree or two, you know, out there. But in these warm days, it probably warm right back up again. But until it clears up, I think it's going to be hard to catch them. You might find them Caney Creek or White's Creek or something, you know, that's cleared up enough. I talked to Greg Underwood, and he was telling me that he fished in White's Creek the other day, and it still had some color to it.
Well, that's kind of odd. You know, White's Creek and down in the Piney, they clear up pretty quick.
Well, as much water runs in them, you'd think they would be, but still got color in it. So, you know, which is good for bass fishing.
Yeah.
But it ain't that good for the crappie fishing.
Well, yeah, I hear you. But, you know, the water in White's Creek and down there in the Pineys coming off the hillside there, and once it quits raining, why it starts clearing up pretty quick, you know, and especially when they're pulling the water. But I don't know what to think, you know, about the dang. Did Greg say what the water temperature was there?
No, he didn't say what the water temperature was. So he caught one fish there, out there. That's all he caught.
Well, was it a bass or crappie?
A bass.
Bass, yeah. Well, some gun. You know, like I said, all the guys that fish at work there, you know, on Mondays they come in, you know, telling about what they, you know, when one of them sees me, did you go? I said, no, I didn't. You know, I didn't get to go, or I did get to go, and whatever, you know. And I said, what'd you do? Well, we caught a few. You know, I said, okay. You got to give me more information than that.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
We have a ball with that fish talk over there. We really do, and it's good to see, you know, get to talk to a lot of them guys, and they'll holler at me, hey, come over here, man. I said, did you go? I said, no, I didn't get to go. I said, what about you? Yeah, we went. But this past weekend, nobody went.
Yeah.
You know, the ground was white, and I'm sure on up in the La Follette area and Jacksboro around, it's probably pretty rough to get to the boat ramp. They didn't want to chance it.
Yeah, that's for
So,
sure.
and I don't blame them, you know, for sure. So, yeah, didn't get any fishing reports this past week. That's for sure. Hopefully things will be pretty nice this weekend. A man may get a chance to go for a little while and get some fishing film, you know, and go from there. But anyway, do remember our sponsors, and
Well, I think the bass is loading up with eggs, and I think the crappie have been catching. They're getting fattened up. You know, the eggs are looking like it within the next month or so. They're gonna be looking to spawn.
yeah.
So
I don't. It's all about that dang water temperature. Yep. If it gets up there in the 50s, 60s degrees, look out.
right after that heavy rain, when we went down there, it was 62 degrees down there.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
and it
That's
cooled
what.
back down to 51.
Yeah.
Yeah. And bigger creeks, it'll warm up quicker and cool off pretty quick. And get enough rain like that to flush it out. And
Yeah.
stuff, and then that cold water goes running back in again.
Well, we'll just have to see what this weather brings. I mean, I hope this bad weather that you said was in Alabama doesn't make it up this way.
Well, that was the funny part. They were showing that thing front moving back up toward the north and was kind of going back west, to the northwest. I said, dang. Maybe, hopefully we won't get none of that rough weather. You know, may get a little rain off of it, but
Yeah.
we sure don't need them hail balls and all that, and tornadoes and stuff.
Well, Sherry, if you're listening, has Wesley made it home yet? Call over here and let me know. Anyway, old Wes, he took off, let's see, when did they leave? I think it was Sunday. They drove down to Florida and got on one of those cruise ships.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Wesley's been out cruising. He won't be worth a hoot. He'll have sand between his toes and everything else. And it'll take a month to get him back in shape to go fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to work on that, get him lined out. So, but just want to make sure he made it home safely. And he may have a sunburn for all I know.
Yeah, could be. I know you're still ready to try to put that plate on your boat to extend your motor.
Yeah, we got to do just a little more tweaking with my new trolling motor. I'm not happy with, it's about 6 inches too far back on the boat, 4 inches. We're going to put a plate on that and then bolt the trolling motor down to the plate and hopefully get it squared away here on the next move. But I mean, even the way it is, I'm liking it. It's quiet, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You don't, all you hear is that little hum off the steering motor up on top, but as far as down in the water, it's quiet. And so I'm tickled to death with that, Mike. We just need to get you down there, me and you get together and finish that thing up and get it fixed like I want it, and we'll be in business.
Yep.
We can't waste too much more time either, because fishing will be on us before we know it.
Yeah. That's for sure.
But speaking of that, if you hadn't had your boat out yet, take a few minutes to get everything ready.
Yeah.
Make sure your trailer tires are good and air pressure's good, and you got some grease in the hubs, and use that. I don't know it's waterproof grease. You want to make sure you use that. That's just a no regular tube grease. Doesn't shed the water really well.
That's true.
And it gets mixed up and it looks creamy. And that waterproof grease is the blue color, and it whenever you check your hubs, that's what that grease all look like. Have a little blue color to it. But just kind of do you some maintenance. Might save you. When you stick the bearings on your boat trailer, you've messed up.
Got that right.
It's pretty much another axle. Because the bearings will lock up, and then they start spinning on the hub there, and they're in the hub and on the spindle there, and then next thing you know, by the time you get pulled over, it's done smoking. And usually takes a new axle. So do your maintenance and get the thing ready to go, because if you're not being, then it's going to be here before you know it.
Yes, sir. Sure will.
Without a doubt. Got about 10 minutes, Mike. You got anything else?
No, not really. The more you think about it down there at Watch Bar, there's a lot of tournaments going on, and a lot of them fishing up in the river. And hadn't heard anything about any crappie being caught up in the river. And usually down there around Emory, that uncle of ours, he usually putting in trying it down there. And of Hadn't heard anything on that, whether that's cleared up or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he usually goes in there and catches a few crappie.
Yeah.
You know?
Before that big rain, that's what he was talking about, man. Said he caught a limit there on one spot there before you turn around. And said he miscounted and he throwed one back and said he thought he had 15 already in the box, and said when he got home he just had 14. But he went back down a couple of days later and after that rain and said you could walk on the water. It was so muddy and trashy and plumb full and everything else.
Yeah.
And he fished about 3 or 4 hours and never got a strike and come back home.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right.
So that water, not only the temperature changed, but everything about it, that clarity of that water, man, I tell you what, as far as crappie, it just don't do no good. I mean, they may move on up and wait for it to clear up, but I ain't found anything still hitting that muddy water that good.
Yeah.
I've tried stuff with like beetle spins, you know, small stuff with some type of vibration, put rattlers on grubs and stuff, and I just, if they won't hit a grub or a minnow, then, you know, that is because the water's too dingy.
Yeah. I hear you. Mike Pennington, I wanted to put you in here too, man. I know you're watching. We appreciate it. And I know you'll holler at us when you get back in the water. All righty. Folks, it's getting about time to go. Hopefully we can get some fishing film, this weekend, and weather permitting and all that kind of stuff. This time of year, it's storms and rain and all that stuff coming. The only thing I got to look forward to is these Friday nights here, Mike, for too long.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, we may try to make a walleye trip up there about full moon in August or April, and see if we can find some of them walleye, especially if that water gets up around them bushes. Them LY go to spawning.
Yeah.
That's when the walleye get in.
That's for sure.
I mean, other than them being out there real deep, you know. So we're looking forward to that. Listen, God bless you all. Have a safe weekend, and be careful. Have your life jackets where you can get to them. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, go Vols.
Go Vols. All right. Hey, folks. We're over here at Edgemore Outdoors and got Vance back here. They've got a new selection of, what is this called now, Vance?
This is all queen tackle.
Queen tackle, okay.
It's all tungsten. They got tungsten weights, flipping weights. They got drop shot weights. All the jigs are all tungsten heads. There's flipping jigs, football jigs. There's swim jigs down here too. That's all of it's tungsten. There's shaky heads right here.
Okay,
That's
all tungsten stuff. Well, Vance got my attention with one thing. He's got, you can take any jig. Vance, get some of those bills. The chatterbait bills?
These aren't tungsten, but you can take this little chatterbait here and you can make a jig or a swim bait, any kind of head.
Throw it and put a shaky head on it.
Yep.
Son of a gun. I was just wondering how long that was going to take.
They've got different sizes in the blades there. There's silver, gold, and black.
Silver, gold, and black, different sizes in the blades. And like you said, you can take a white jig that you're flipping and put that dang bill on it, and you got you a chatterbait.
That's right.
Well, I wish me and you had thought of that. Folks, listen, do get by here, Edgemore Outdoors. Just swing around here, look at, gosh, I mean, man, the racks are hanging full of stuff, line, oil, just everything in the world here at Edgemore Outdoors. Jim and his crew would be more than glad to help you find what you need back here on the thing. I mean, it's just, I just hadn't had a chance to get over here. I've been wanting to come by and make a new film, advertisement for Edgemore Outdoors. And we just thankful for their support here over the years, keeping the show going. And it's just, row after row of tackle, baits, plastics, crappie stuff, catfish stuff. They've got live bait, reels, rods. It's just, if you're looking for it, more than likely they have it over here. So do come by, stop in here and visit with Edgemore Outdoors, and I'm pretty sure you'll be satisfied and they can help you find what you need.
Okay.
Hey folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, 620 Ray Street here in Kingston. Got Mr. Glenn Reynolds here with us. Glenn, tell us about this beautiful Bullet boat sitting here.
Okay, this is the latest deal. It's called SST. It's 21 foot long. Has a lot of key features inside. It's got three coolers, so you keep your beverages plenty cool. Got a little wider front end up front. And it's got the recessed foot pedal for the new Spotlight trolling motors that I'm going to try to sell Steve one.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pretty silver and red.
Boy, it's beautiful. It really
is. Got the new 250R.
250R on that thing, folks. Man, this thing looks sharp.
That's just one boat. Of course, we got it in the background here.
Yeah.
We've got several side-by-sides.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then...
there's the big 5-seater. That's a 5-seater. Man. Dadgone it, Glenn.
Got a lot of side-by-sides.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got, of course, this is
Allison?
This is Allison Color Pro Series.
Yeah.
It's called a Pro Elite.
Pro Elite, okay.
And it's got, I guess here is some of the pictures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. It's got a TV screen in the front.
Yeah. And then it raises it up because it's called an E-pad.
Right.
And Allison has a patent on this, I think. And you can raise it up where you can, if you're a tall guy, you can still see
it. Yeah, yeah.
That's sort of unique. And then, of course, we've got the Allisons and the Bullets on this side.
Right. Oh, man. We've got the twin yellows here, don't we?
Got the twin yellows. One's yellow and white, one's yellow and black. This one will be in Mercury's brochure. I went down and made some pictures at Joe River Lake, and it should be coming up pretty soon in the brochure.
Right.
And of course, it has the E-pad, it has the spot lock. I call it Ultrex.
Right.
Now this is called a 21 RDC. It's a raised deck, real console. And it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and it's
one of my favorites.
It's a beautiful boat.
Good.
Yes, sir.
And now it's got the new 300R on it.
300R, man.
And, but we can mix and match any engine combination just about you want.
Yeah.
Some people want 300, some want 200, some want 250s.
Yeah.
And but we're normally selling 250 and $300, you say.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, Glenn. Glenn, you want to mention something about the pontoon boat sitting over there?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Got a veranda pontoon boat here. Man, that thing is beautiful.
And I guess over here we get a close-up.
Yeah.
Everybody else has got plywood bottom. It's got what we call a cooling slot. It's all aluminum. It never soak up any moisture or water.
Yeah.
And probably last no reason why it wouldn't last a lifetime or two, you know.
Yep.
And we get up in it and.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of